السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sound clear? طيب. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All the praises to Allah. We praise Him and seek His aid and ask His forgiveness. And may the peace and blessings and exalted mention be upon His slave and messenger Muhammad, His house of kin, His companions, and all who followed them exactly until the day of judgment. Are we ready, inshallah? We're going to start again. Most probably, inshallah, it's going to be the last time. So we have to be ready, inshallah. We have no choice, inshallah. Tayyib. We have to pay attention, close attention this time. Because this time, inshallah, I'm going to make it easier. And at the same time, faster, inshallah. With a lot of exercises. Yani with extra exercises than before. Okay? So, we're going to cut a lot of the introductions. And we're going to jump straight to the topic, inshallah. So we're going to say, know that the Arabic studies are given the parable, okay, of any house. For example, the house starts with the what? With the foundation. The foundation is going to be the meanings, the vocabulary. Okay? After this foundation comes what? Comes the bricks. Comes the bricks. Now the first stage is what? Is the stage of knowing your bricks. Okay? In other sense, here it is knowing the words. Okay? How to form them. How to form them. Okay? When they should be short, and when they should be long, and when it is proper to use which. Okay? This is all the first stage. This is what we're learning here. This is what we are learning here. Understood? So here, Sarf is the study of the words. Basically, this is Sarf. This is what you learn in Sarf. So basically, it is studying the words and how they are formed before being put into sentences. You with me? With me on that? Good. This is what we're going to study in Sarf. Okay? Now see, barakallahu feekum, a lot of newbies to Arabic, the reason why they don't succeed in learning is they start with grammar. And grammar is not what to start with the non-Arabic tongue. The non-Arabic tongue should start getting familiar with how the words are formed before him starting to use those words. How can you use something which you do not know how to use? And that is why they said that knowing the singular comes before knowing the complex. And anything which is complex, you have to know what it is formed of in order to understand it. So you can never understand sentences before understanding the words which form those sentences. And they say معرفة المركب مبنية على معرفة المفرد. طيب, this is the first level. This is what we're going to do. Okay? Second is knowing how those bricks are put together. Okay? And this is basically what? Forming sentences. Forming sentences. Okay? يعني what order? In what order should this construction follow? Okay? And what are the rulings to such? Okay? And this is what you learn in where? In Nahu, which means grammar. Grammar. So we can say it is studying the words and it is studying the words after being put into sentences. Into sentences. Is that understood? Can we move forward? Can we move forth? جيد. جيد. Okay. The third is after you finish putting those bricks together and the whole structure is complete, the structure of your home, your house, what do you do? Which is the sister's specialty? Decorating. Decorating. So the decorating comes last. Beautifying the house. Because the house is the empire of the woman. So, the beautifying, this is what you learn in the third stage. Knowing how to beautify those sentences in a manner, knowing how to beautify, knowing how to it's in the center. Knowing how to, hold on. Let me try and, okay, is that better for the board? Okay. Knowing how to, now we want to use a word which better, knowing how to beautify. Knowing how to decorate and beautify this house. Okay, and they will say between brackets those sentences. Okay, in a manner which is pleasant to hear and complies with the different levels of understanding. Different levels of understanding. The board does not cannot move to the left because it is centered. I do not know how to do it. Yes, now that's to the right. Right. Yeah, so it only moves to the. You mean like this? Like this is fine? No. Let us know. طيب. واضح? Clear? So what are we studying now? What are we studying? We are studying this one, this part here. Sarf. Okay? So we're going to know our Brits now. طيب? So we're ready, inshallah? Okay. Now, here, basically, we're going to break it down now. So we're going to say that here, in Sarf, not only will you know how words work and how they are formed, but you will also obtain all the principles which create the ability to form words by yourself in a correct manner just by knowing the root letters. Isn't that interesting? طيب. So we'll start now then. What is Sarf? Sarf. Definition. Sarf here is taken as a technical term or a linguistic one. Yes, in any, very good. In any science, you see, sciences are innovated, originated, okay? You're with me on that? Right. And since they are originated and innovated, the terms used in those sciences are innovated with the innovation of those sciences. Common sense. أليس كذلك? Isn't that so? طيب. So with the birth of those sciences, technical terms were born with them. Okay? And this brings you to a very important point. What is that point? That you should always know, because you should, not only should you know it here, you have to know it here and in every science you study. Okay? And I'll give you a simple example. Okay? علم الطب, يعني medicine, okay, is a innovative science. Okay? Now, in medical, يعني there's a medical term which is called operation, right? So what does the term operation mean? Huh? Anybody know? Operation. Very good. Surgery. Surgical operation. Okay? So, when it is said among a group of doctors, وعليكم السلام, operation, does it go to any operation? Does it apply on any operation? No. It only applies to a specific one which is known among that group of sciences. Are you with me? Very good. Okay. If that meaning, that means this meaning is originated. It wasn't there before. What specified it? Yani what specified the word operation to mean a specific type of operation? What specified that? Very good. Medical science. Beautiful. Okay. The same thing with every other science. Okay. Before we get to the science of Sarf, we say the word operation, what specified it to a certain operation, which is the surgical one, is the born, يعني is when this medical science was born. واضح? Otherwise, before the originating of this science, what did the word operation mean? Huh? Anything. Any procedure. أليس كذلك? Any process, yes. It's called operation. Okay? طيب. Same thing here. So the technical terms are taken from the linguistic terms, from the linguistic words. You have to understand that, because trust me when I say that a lot of the confusion that happened in understanding religion came from this issue, from the issue of people not understanding the different technicalities. Okay? So we have here Sarf, for example. Sarf is a science which is newly originated. Sarf has a technical meaning. It has been taken from a linguistic meaning, just as the word operation to the doctors was taken from the linguistic meaning of operation in English. Are you with me? Did you understand that? طيب. Now, Sarf, what is it? Linguistically, Sarf, linguistically, means turning. Means turning. Okay? Pardon me 1 minute, please. Pardon me 1 moment, just a slight accident. Okay? Everything is fine, alhamdulillah. But Sarf linguistically means turning. Turning Specifically? No, turning in general. In general. Any turning. Any kind of turning is called sarf. And you find this word used in many verses of the Quran. وَتَصْرِيفِ الرِّيَاحِ, the veering of the winds. انظر كيف نعم كذلك نصرف الآيات. This is how we turn around the signs. Many verses in the Quran which use this word for the meaning of turning. Okay? Now here, our concern is not the linguistic meaning, isn't it? Is it? But our concern here is sarf technically. So sarf technically means, so if the linguistic meaning is not our concern, then why do the scholars mention it? Because they are saying that there is a strong relationship between the technical meaning and the linguistic meaning. Because the linguistic meaning, the technical meaning is based upon the linguistic meaning. That means any linguistic meaning, important benefits. Okay? Any linguistic, any technical meaning is the very linguistic meaning, but specified by a certain science. By a certain science. You got that one? Understood? Therefore, we can say that the linguistic meaning is always general. طيب. I'll be more clear, inshallah. And the technical meaning is always what? Specific. I'll give you another example to elaborate further. Listen carefully. Islam. If someone comes up to you and says, what do you know about Islam? What's the first thing that comes into your mind? The meaning of Islam to you? The religion. Good. Very good. Beautiful. Okay. The religion. Now, Islam to mean, and by the way, Islam is not peace, but Islam to mean the religion, is that a general linguistic meaning, or is it a technical meaning? Yani a religious meaning, I mean. It's a religious meaning. Why? Because if you ask any sheikh, any of the people of knowledge, they will tell you Islam is taken from the word Islam, which means submitting, surrendering. Submitting and surrendering. Okay? Right. Look, I'm going to clarify to you the relationship between the linguistic meaning and the technical meaning here, or the religious meaning. Okay? Now, surrendering. This is Islam in what? In the linguistic meaning. If we take the linguistic meaning of Islam, Islam means surrendering. Linguistically. Right. Surrendering to what? Surrendering to anything. Anything. Any submitting is called Islam. No matter who submitted, who did that submitting, and no matter to whom that submitting was done. Okay? Okay, when Allah commanded us to enter Islam, Allah meant something specific than more specific than the general meaning of Islam in the language, in the Arabic language. Why? Because if we said that Allah commanded to submit unspecifically, okay, the submitting could be to anything besides Allah. Understood? But the religious meaning of Islam is submitting to Him alone. You see? Is it clear now? Barakallahu feekum. Okay. So you have to know that the meanings are three. The meanings are three. Okay? There is the linguistic one. Linguistic meanings. This is number one. Okay? This is very important. Okay? You might think that this has nothing to do with what we're taking now. Wrong. This is extremely important. Linguistic meanings. Then we have religious meanings. Then we have what? Technical meanings. Okay? Yes, also customer. Yeah, yes. Yes, customer. Yes, you can say that. But ahsant, barakallahu feek. Yes, better. Better to say customer. Ahsant. ahsant. جيد. The meanings are three. Linguistic, which is called lughawi. Yes, I will tell you. Because the technical meanings are meanings according to different customs. And what they mean by customs is different groups of people. Doctors, physicians, chemisticians, etc. Okay? That's what they say. They say urfi, linguistic, lughawi, religious, shar'i, customary, they say urfi. Okay? واضح? طيب. Linguistic meanings are general. That means they're not specified. Religious meanings and customary meanings are what? Are specific. Both the last two are specific. Understood? If you could not understand customary, just understand technical. Technical is fine. Yes, but that's not what we use. You are right. There's no contradiction. Whether you say customary, whether you say technical, it does not matter. But in Arabic we say urfi, and urfi means customary. Understand? That you will learn later, inshallah, in the principles of understanding. Don't worry, inshallah. It will come. Okay? All you need to know now is that the linguistic meanings, this is istilahi. Istilahi is the technical. The linguistic meaning is general. The religious and customary is specific. Same. Istilahi, urfi, same. Okay? Don't worry about the technical terms now, the Arabic technical terms, because we're going to try our best in this last batch to lessen, inshallah, as much as we can from using the technical terms, as long as we don't need them. Yeah, Shar'i is religious. Now, واضح? Yes, I know, but there are a lot of newcomers here, and there are a lot of beginners. So we want to make it easy for them as well, inshallah. And inshallah, when we learn in Arabic, then inshallah, you will take as much technicals as you can handle, inshallah, even more than you can handle. طيب? Because there has to be hikmah in the da'wah. Even in teaching, there has to be wisdom. طيب. Sarf technically means what? It means turning This is the definition of sarf. Turning, of course, is going to mean generally a specific turning. But what's that specific turning? It says turning the source into different forms in order to express different meanings which aren't expressed except through their certain forms. That's the definition of sarf. Exactly, step by step. Now, don't worry, inshallah. Don't worry, inshallah. Okay? Please try your best to memorize this definition if you can. So sarf technically is what? Is turning the source into different forms in order to express different meanings which aren't expressed except through their certain forms. Now let's copy this and take it to another board, because this is what we're going to demonstrate inshallah here. Okay? Of course, now the examples will come inshallah. Okay. Now, what do you mean? What is meant by this definition? Or breaking down this definition. What is meant by, inshallah, at the end, we will, inshallah, give you a view of all boards, inshallah. Okay. Just remind us, Brother Yasser. Yasar. Now, remind us, inshallah. What is meant by source? What is meant by source? See, barakallahu feekum. For now, of course, the word source, okay, means what يعني means in Arabic يعني what is meant by source in Arabic, it is called al-masdar. 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 Okay? What is al-masdar? Al-masdar is a synonym to the word to the verbal noun in English. To the verbal noun in English. Okay? Now, dear beginner, for now, okay, what the word source should mean to you is the root letters which you shall be given. The root letters which you shall be given. Okay? Now, the root letters in Arabic, and try to log out and in again, because sometimes there are these problems occur sometimes. Try to log out and in again. The root letters in Arabic are only from 3 to 4. That's it. The root letters in Arabic are only from 3 to 4. No, that means the masdar, we will teach you whatever has to do with the masdar later on. But now, take the masdar as the root letters that you will be given, inshallah. Okay? 3 to 4. Now, inshallah, better. Because it's an easier way. Yes, 3 to 4 letters. What does this mean? That means the least of letters you can find in a word, the least of letters is 3. And those letters are what you're going to use to make different forms. Okay? Now let's improvise. Now I'll give you 3 letters. I'll give you 3 letters, inshallah. I will give you Ain and the Ba and the Dal. The Ain and the Ba and the Dal. Okay? Now this here is going to be what? Your source. It's going to be your source. Don't worry about the definition, inshallah. We're going to go back to it. From this source, you are going to build different forms. You are going to build different forms. Okay, whoever is having a problem with the with seeing what's on the board, just let them log out and in again, inshallah. I shall try to give them some time. Okay? Now you should understand what forms mean. Right. Now look at what I'm going to do. Look. I'm going to turn this right here, these 3 letters, into a different form. Into a different form. واضح? So here, for example, I'm going to bring the Ain. Look at the Ain is the same letter, the first letter. The first letter is the Ain. Okay? Then I'm going to bring the Ba. See, I linked them together. I joined them together. Okay? Then I'm going to bring the Dal, and I'm going to link it to the Ba. Okay? Then I'm going to give this letter, the first letter, an A sound, an A vowel. So it's going to be pronounced like so, ah, ah. Then I'm going to do the same to the second letter. How do you pronounce this one, the second letter? Ba. Very good. Ba. Okay. Then I'm going to give the same to the last letter, which is the Dal. Da, da. 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 Now can you read this word altogether? عبد. 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 Okay? This is called a form. What does the word form include when we use such a word? Okay? It means the number of letters, okay, and the vowels that are used with those letters, and their order. Okay? This altogether is what we call forms in Arabic. واضح? طيب. Now, let's build from those same letters, we're going to build a different form. Yes, letter with haraka. But I told you we're going to lesson using the technical terms just for a while. Okay? Because we want the beginners to get the idea of this. Wait. No, orders of the letters. Order of the letters, not the words. Because this is a word. Okay? The whole thing is a word. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Now observe. I'm going to build another form. Each form has to be different. That's by default. By default, each form has to be different. Okay? طيب. Now I'm going to bring an extra letter with those three letters. Okay? Yani with the ayn and the ba and the dal, I'm going to bring an extra letter, which is the hamza that I wrote in the beginning. Then I'm going to bring the rest of the letters. Okay? What do you notice different? What's the difference between the first form and the second? Huh? What's the difference between the first form and the second? The second has what? Has an extra letter. Very good. So all I did is I added an extra letter to the second form. It's the same thing. What I'm doing is I'm turning this into different forms using the same letters. The letters don't change. Those three letters you are going to find in every form, no matter which form it is. Understood? Is that clear? طيب. Now, here, with abada, watch how I'm going to do it with the second form. I'm going to give the first extra letter which I have added a fatha, yani an A sound, a. Then the second one, I'm not going to give it any vowel. Okay? You see that little O sign that's over the letter? That means there's no vowel there. There's no A sound, neither is there an U sound, neither is there an E sound. Okay? And how will that be pronounced? Ah. 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 See? That means I didn't say ah. Ah. Neither did I say U. Neither did I say E. But it had no vowel at all. طيب? Then I'm going to go to the second letter, which is the ba. The second letter, I mean by the second letter, the second root letter. And I'm going to give it a O sound, U sound, boo, boo. Then I'm going to do the same with the dal. Now, what do you read? أعبد أعبد أعبد. Okay. Is عبد like أعبد? No, it's a different form. Okay? Let's go to the board before. Again, I'm going to take you back to this definition several times. Sarf technically means turning the source into different forms. See? That's what we did here. We're turning the source into different forms. This is different than this. It's not the same. Okay? Now let me write you different forms here. Several other different forms. So I'm going to say, for example, عبادات. 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 Wow. How many letters did I add? How many letters were added? 3. 2 alifs and 1 ta. Agree? Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you another form. Abid. Oh, you must have heard that name before. Abid. Yes? Okay? And one of the students who are present with us here is named Ubaid. That also came from those 3 letters. Okay? Ubaid. Now, we have na'budu. Na'budu. We have abadat. We have ya'buduna. يعبدون. يعبدون. Very good question. Inshallah, by the end of this, inshallah, of Sarf, you will be able to do more than 150 forms using the same 3 root letters. That's right. That's right. Not only that, it will be so easy that it will be a second nature to you, inshallah. Okay. Pay attention now. Abada means I worshipped. A'budu means I worship. Ibadat means acts of worship. Acts of worship. Abid, sorry, Abada means he worshipped. Pardon me. Yes, you're right. Abada, he worshipped. Pardon me. Abid, a worshipper. Ubaid, what's your name? What's the meaning of your name, Ya Ubaid? يعني a mini worshipper. طيب, نعبد means we worship. عبدت means she worships. She worships. يعبدون means they worship. Okay. What did we say Sarf was? Turning the source. Turning the source into different forms. Are these forms the same or different? Different. They're all different. Okay. What's the cause? What's the reason? Why? What's the purpose? What's the objective? Why turn them into different forms? It says here, I'll take you back to that board again. It says in order to express different meanings. When I wanted to express with the meaning worshipping that a certain individual did that act in the past, I had to bring it in this form. Abada. When I wanted to express with the meaning worshipping that a single person is doing it now, I had to say a'budu. I had to say it this way. When I wanted to express several acts of that meaning of worshipping, I had to say it in a different way. Ibadat. When I wanted to express a person whose attribute is that meaning, I had to say it in a different way, different than all the rest of the forms. So I said abid. When I wanted to minimize that worshipper, I said ubaid. When I wanted to express that a group are practicing the act of worshipping, in the current time, I had to say na'budu. When I wanted to express that the individual who did that act in the past is a female, I said abadat, which is different than the rest of forms. And finally, when I wanted to express that a group is doing that act of worship in the current time, I said ya'budun. Ya'budun. A group whom I'm speaking about. This is a group whom I'm speaking for, but this is a group whom I'm speaking about. Rather? So this is present, this is past, this is present, this is present, and this is past. Rather? Clear? So what did we do here? We changed the root letters into different forms in order to express different meanings that aren't expressed except through those different forms. Okay? Now, Sarf here, what you're going to learn in Sarf, you are going to learn the principle to form this, and 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 this, and this, and this, and this, and all the rest. Understood? Now what do you notice here before we end? You notice here that the root letters stay in all different forms. Isn't that so? Yani, if you ponder on those root letters, you will find that they are never absent in any form, no matter what it is. واضح? The ain is found in all of these forms. So is the ba, so is the dal. Okay? That's why we call them the original letters. The original letters. No, root word is different. These are root letters. The root word is what I'm going to mention to you later, inshallah. Okay? These are root letters. These we call original letters. Any letter, any other letter which we add, we call it extra letters. We call it an extra letter. واضح بارك الله فيكم? Right. So next class, inshallah, which is going to be after tomorrow, we're going to start giving you how the scholars studied, how the scholars study that word, study these words, and study the root letters, and how do they build different forms from those root letters. Okay? Clear? Okay. So before we take the questions, inshallah, thrice a week, inshallah, we're going to just view each board equally, inshallah, in time. Okay, so this is board 1. Hold the questions, inshallah. I'm going to give you time for questions, inshallah, now. But just take a screenshot if you wish. Take a screenshot if you wish from each board. No text, inshallah. I shall be giving you, inshallah, and the students at establishingtheprinciples.wordpress.com are going to upload the notes eventually, inshallah. Whiteboard number 2. Yes, it does. Yes, I'm going to. Yes, inshallah. Let me just write that there. This is called balagha. Hold on. One moment, please. Okay, this third one here is called balagha. This is called balagha, which means eloquence. Eloquency. Now, balagha. Okay, so you're going to have to take that screenshot again, just for the word balagha. Okay, I'm going to move to the next board, board number 2. And the next board, balagha, with a ta at the end. Add a closed ta, a knotted ta at the end. Now, balaghatun. Now, then board number 3. Yes. And finally, board number 4. Okay. And in 20 seconds, inshallah, we're going to start taking the questions. Okay. Okay, please start the questions now, inshallah. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. طيب. طيب طيب. طيب. Jazakallah khairan. I understood all that you have explained clearly. Barakallah. Alhamdulillah. Ustad, what does واضح? واضح means clear. So when I say واضح هذا, I'm asking, is this clear? That's what واضح means. Ustad, one thing. Ustad, what about لا تحصل إلا بها? I only remember the Arabic. يعني, are you not explaining this part with regards to the meaning of each word or next class? No. I'm not going to focus on the Arabic terms much in this brief introduction of Sarf. Ustad, wouldn't it be better to learn the terms in Arabic rather than in English? No, we are going to. But the beginning, this first class here, okay, we are just giving you an idea of what Sarf is. But we are going to introduce those terms slowly. That means you could get in 3 classes, for example, only 5 terms. Okay? And you might get in one class 5 terms in a single class. But I'm going to try my best to lessen the terms. Why? So it can be easier for you, inshallah, to understand according to your language or the language in which you communicate. Are you? No doubt that it's better. But maybe for you it's not better. Yani it in itself, it's good. But, according to balagha, decorating the speech, is it good to speak to someone who does not know Arabic at all? To speak with him using a lot of Arabic terms? No, it's not wise. So slowly, inshallah. It's not that we're saying that, no, we're not going to give you those terms. No, we're saying we are. But we're going to do it, inshallah, slowly, step by step. Now. More questions? Okay. Ustad, how can we use any number of letters? That I will show you, inshallah. Don't worry. I will show you that now. Question number 1. In previous Sarf classes, you said technical or scientific. Do we discard this word, scientific? No. Because scientific, technical, customary, it all goes to one thing. What is the difference between religious meaning and technical meaning? Religious meaning is an independent, specific meaning. Okay? No. Barakallahu feek, ya Ustad. Could you state the linguistic meaning of nahu and balagha? That, inshallah, we'll do in future levels. Okay? Dear Ustad, the masdar, does the masdar only have root letters and no extra letters? No, it could have extra letters. That's why we want you to focus on the root letters here now. We will also learn in these subclasses how to form words which indicate balagha. No. Balagha? You mean which are related to balagha? Yes. يعني no. يعني I know what you mean. No. Balagha, barakallahu feek, is after mastering sarf and nahu. That means it's a combination of the two. واضح? How to increase vocabulary. Any good source? Here, inshallah, we will teach you vocabulary as well. Now, more questions, inshallah. طيب. Can't religious meanings be technical as well? Yes, but the way they put it, they made the religious a specific thing, an independent thing. Question 3. You gave us sarf means turning or changing. Do we discard changing now? Yani, some said turning, some said changing, and the meanings are close. So no, don't discard it, but add it. Add it. Jazakallahu khairan Ustad, and all the brothers and sisters. Ustad means master. No, Ustad means teacher. Ustad means teacher. Now, meanings of Ustad is not an Arabic word. It's Arabized, by the way. Meaning of Islam. General meaning, submission. Religious meaning, submission to Allah. Technical, there is no technical meaning to Islam. There's the religious meaning, the general meaning, and the religious meaning. Okay? Unless a certain group of scholars use the word Islam for another meaning, that's something different. Ustad, you told us meaning of Abid and Ubaid was said the worshipper, and Abd we know is a slave. So is one letter specific and one general? Is one letter, you told us meaning of Abid. Abid is, Abid and Ubaid. We said worshipper, and Abd we know is slave. So is one letter specific and one general? I don't understand your question. Barakallahu feek. Ustad, how do you memorize vocabulary? Just like you memorize anything else. Inshallah, I will teach you, inshallah, a way to memorize. Inshallah. Now, you meant word. We will come to know that, inshallah. Inshallah, I will give you a very easy way to memorize, inshallah. If you follow it, you can memorize anything you want in big portions daily, no problem. Can customary meaning of Islam be as-salah, sawm, etc.? See, Islam is worshipping Allah alone. Islam is iman. Islam is ikhlas. Yani, Islam religiously has a lot of synonyms religiously. No. Any more questions? We got 2 minutes left. More than 2 minutes left. Any more questions? Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is the form in Arabic, please? Wazn, mithal. What days of the week? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yes, please post it, Habib. If there's time, inshallah. Yes, about the term like Madi Mudari, yes. So any possible word for the letters is called, possible word form, the letter is called a form. Yes. You can call it mithal. You can call it wazn. How is Islamic meaning different than technical meaning? They seem the same. No, it's not the same. Yani, the technical meaning is according to the sciences, but the religious meaning is what is meant يعني in the Quran and in the Sunnah, in the ahadith and in the verses, what is meant from that word Islamically. Okay? Because technical meanings, barakallahu fiki, they differ according to the different sciences. Okay? But the Islamic meaning is one. Now, can you put them with the Arabic, insha'Allah? Can we put that what in the with the Arabic? Now, I had a nice question. As you said about intention, Ustad, in prayer, if anyone is praying by keeping an intention that someone is saying to him and praying, then what will be the, what is the reward for it? Yani, if the intention is from the beginning of the prayer to the end, just for the sake of someone seeing him and it to be praised by him, then there's no reward to that. Rather, there's a punishment. He will get iqab. Now. No. 20 seconds remaining. وإياك. Board number 1. I don't know what happened to the last board there. Suddenly things started getting erased. Allahu A'lam. So forgive me for that, inshaAllah.